Savant, and I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
Hi, I'm Diamond Jones, and I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
I'm JB, and I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
I'm Andreas, and I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
Hi, I'm Sierra, and I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
Hey everybody, my name is Jerel Stiles, and I am the lead engineer here at RC3 Media Ministry. And you already know I'm down with Real Talk Saturday.
We hope you enjoy this broadcast because it's truly going to be a blessing to the youth of our community. And we're down with Real Talk Saturday.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. We bring you greetings here in Fuquay Arena, North Carolina at Renewed Covenant Christian Center. We are here for another Real Talk Saturday. And we are so excited because Real Talk is a platform where we have our young people come together to talk about higher education, career development, and pursuit of careers on a platform that allows them to talk about how it relates to their faith as well. I'm Pastor Carlo, and this is Pastor Emmanuel. Pastor Emmanuel, tell us what we've been talking about.
Well, in the past, what we've discussed was STEM careers. It was a great show in January, actually in February. And then I believe we discussed criminal justice careers. We even discussed the arts as well. All of this as it relates to your faith. And I do believe that today is going to be a blessed day. It's going to be a great day. Today, topic is discussing military and their faith. And we have a few people here that's tapping in, and they'll be displaying their gifts and talents. We don't want to steal any of their thunder, but we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to express their faith as it relates to the military and some of the things that they want to do in the future. I know that today is going to be an awesome day. We have Elder LeAndro Crooms, which he's a dear friend of ours. He's our cousin, but we look at him and we treat him just like he's a brother to us because we're just that close. And then we also have our very own Emmanuel Maalik Holland. He's going to be gracing us with his presence as well. We also have another relative, which is Kalib Crooms. We thank him for tapping in with us. We have Jerel Taylor. We have Keslee. What's Keslee's last name?
Hylton.
Keslee Hylton. We have Keslee Hylton as well. She's going to bring a little different mix to it here because she's also, she has a ROTC background, and she's currently a college student as well. And so this is going to be great. Just sit back, relax, and just hear what people have to say as they explain their experiences, as they not only explain their experiences, but it's just real. It's real talk. As they're sharing their experiences, they're even sharing their faith. And how many of y'all know that it's difficult to get some young people to explain their faith, but we're here, we're creating this platform so they can do just that.
Amen.
Right?
All right, so without further ado, if we can bring up Elder LeAndro Crooms and Emmanuel Maalik Holland.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good, please introduce yourself and kind of give us some background.
Actually, you know what? Let Maalik introduce himself first, because I tell you.
Oh yeah, you don't want to come behind the elder. You want to come behind the elder. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Maalik to come behind him. So Maalik, go ahead and explain. Introduce yourself, Maalik.
So Maalik, you know, it's good to see you, man. It's good to be in here. It's good to be on the show, right? You know, and just you know, fellowshipping and discussing and all the wonderful things that I know Real Talk, you know, is going to generate, not just in this conversation, but, you know, the things it's going to spark in others. So it's great to be here doing this with you. It's great to see you, Pastor, and you know, the pastors, my family. I love you guys. Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Amen.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and drop off and we're going to let you all do what you do. We're sure that this is in good hands. We thank you all for being in position. And son, go ahead and do what you got to do, man. Explain who you are, and as it relates to your faith. I can tell you that when we saw you off to basic training in, I want to think it was 2018. Yeah, it was 2008, December 2018.
December 28th, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when
I know today because that's when they took my baby.
Yeah, so I remember in December 2018, you were getting ready. You went off to Fort Jackson and you left. And I can tell you, you left as a boy. But it took a lot for us to let go and allow you to go off and attend basic training in South Carolina. We sent you letters. We couldn't wait to see you. We couldn't wait to put our arms around you, but we had to wait. It seemed like those 3 months took forever. And it's like, it seemed like you were so far away from us, but we had to let go and let God deal with you and handle you and allow you to grow up. We wasn't there with you personally, but I tell you, as much as we prayed for you, we felt like we were there with you because we always had your name on our mind, and we always continue to pray for you, even though we didn't see you here in the natural. And so not only did you go off to basic training in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, but you also went to AIT in Virginia. And I believe that's where you attended logistics school. And you were there for, I want to think, a month. And we got a chance to come back up and reunite with you all over again. And it felt really good. And I'm just trying to explain, how we remember things that have happened. I'm sure you're going to come back behind us and re-explain everything. But when we put our eyes on you in Virginia after you graduated from AIT, I noticed you had a little more hair on your face. You seem like you had little specks on your face where you've been shaving, and you hadn't really shaved before going because you just used trimmers here. But I believe the military really helped you to grow up. It helped you to really mature. And so I'm going to go ahead and get off and let you do what you do. And I'm sure you're in good hands with Elder LeAndro Crooms. So Maalik, if you can go ahead and explain as to who you are and how your faith is important to you and what you currently do. Darryl, you can go ahead and drop us off.
All right. Well, as you heard, the pastor himself, I'm Maalik Holland. I joined the National Guard. I joined National Guard. I joined mainly because I was tired of just sitting at home. I didn't know what else to do. I was on and off school, so I was like, am I going to keep paying for school or am I going to keep taking breaks? So I was just in a I don't know point in my life. So I joined December 18th, 2018. No, December 20th, 2018. I didn't ship off until January 29th of 2020. And then, 19. Then I went there. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't rough, but it was rough at the same time. If you play sports, it was like a 10-week long football practice, but there do be some nights where you're like, am I gonna keep doing this, or it's like, why am I doing this? And then at the end, it gets more laid back, more lax, and then you kind of see there's some things you just gotta see it through. You gotta see it through, and then after those 10 weeks, then you go on to your school, and then you're done. You're done with the hard part. Really, everything else is just how you make your military career, how you want it to go after that point. So, and I work at Amazon right now, so that kind of ties into my job because my job is in the military supply, and I'm currently a E4. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, good evening, LeAndro, Crooms. It's an honor to be here. Appreciate the opportunity. So for me, I'm 19 years active duty. I've been to Iraq twice. I've been to Afghanistan twice. I've, had a couple moves with the family, cross country moves, the usual of what you would expect from a military career. God has blessed me to be successful in ways that I never imagined. You hope that things go great, but you never quite understand the way it's going to turn out until you get into into it. And so looking back now, it went by quick, and I appreciate every moment, every opportunity. I appreciate all the training, the people supporting me, the people that encourage me, that were helping to line me up when I didn't quite understand what I was doing. So this is awesome. This is great. Seeing young men and women answer the call to serve God and serve country. It's a blessing. It's an honor. It comes with sacrifices, but all of those things at the end of them, the rewards that you receive, it's great. It's monumental. So I appreciate and applaud what you do. You are a hero. What you do day in and day out, simply answering that call and being ready is something that, it's not easy for everyone. Some people want to do it and can't do it. And there are those who do it and they don't quite do it the right way. So to be in it still, to be doing great, to be progressing, it speaks a lot about your character. So, and my faith, when I joined, all I knew was I need to make sure that I provided for my family, for my son. I wanted to make my family proud. And I knew that without God, I was not going to make it because I had no idea what I was getting into. Right. I was working a job and it really wasn't taking me where I wanted to go. It wasn't able to provide me what I needed financially, or what it gave to me, mentally, from that job. And never forget, Terry Butler, what he did for me mentally, in that short span I was there, prepared me so that when I went there, it was easy to step into leadership and all those things, God first, praying, reading, didn't always do everything right. Yes, I got in trouble every once in a while. Those things happen as you grow and mature. However, with God first, and he being, the person I spoke to when I was out there by myself led me to where I am today. So just a great time, great career, great tour. It's not over yet. I got a few more years in me, but I'm looking forward to the two gentlemen and the young lady who's going to get on and speak about their experience.
Right. All right. So first we're gonna bring up Kalib Crooms.
Good evening.
What's going on?
What's going on? I will try to refrain from calling you son. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, however, but great to be here, man. Just introduce yourself a little bit.
All right, so as they said, I'm Kalib Crooms. I'm a United States Marine Corps. I'm an E4 corporal. I'm 22 years old. I'm an 0231 Intel Specialist. That's my job in the Marine Corps.
Okay. Tell us why you joined and how that ties into your faith or spirituality. How was your journey when you was in? Just explain that for us.
So the number one reason why I joined was I was in college. I was at Campbell University. School wasn't going so well for me. So I decided I didn't want to just sit on my parents' couch and just be a bum. So something I wanted to always do growing up. I always said I wanted to be a Marine. So I figured it was time to step up and join. So I joined November 26, 2018, the day I shipped out for boot camp. I feel like my faith ties into my job. Just basically, what an intel analyst does is we provide intel to the commanders, pretty much we predict what will happen in the future, what the enemy will do in the future. So I feel like me having faith in God, He allows me to have confidence in the decisions I make and the intel I push to the commanders, so that there are no lives lost on the battlefield.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's very, man. That seems like a lot of responsibility, and I keep him first, and he's going to continue to help you make those decisions. So that's great, though.
That's good. Yeah. I'm glad you're serving your country, man. Glad. Well, we're all serving the country. So yeah, glad about that.
It's an honor.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for your time. All right. And now we're going to bring up Jerel Taylor.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Jerel. Hey, listen, so I'm going to try to call you Jerel, but if I say Rella, Rel, man, it's hard, man, not to say it, but man, it's good to see you, man. It's good to see you.
Yes, sir. It's always good to see you, man. How you been?
I've been great. I've been doing great.
Good. Good to see y'all, man. What's up, Kalib? How y'all doing?
Hey, I'm chilling, man. Trying to keep pushing forward.
Absolutely. Keep going, man. Keep striving.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we wanted you to go ahead and introduce yourself. Like, let us know how, everything ties in, how God kept you. I don't know how to say it, but how He kept you whole while you was in there trying to, figure out if you're going to keep going or, so something like that. So, yeah.
All right, so first things first, my name is Jerel Taylor. I'm a specialist, and I'm part of the Army National Guard. I've been with the Guard since 2015, 9/11. Yeah, I joined in 9/11. And I've been serving for about 5 years. It'll be 6 coming up here soon. And I just got out of BLC, so I'll be E5 here shortly. My job is a 91 Alpha. I fix tanks. I'm a tank mechanic. Basically, they break down. We come in there and fix it. How does faith tie in with what I do? So, perfect example. So, if we're downrange and if the tank breaks down, we have to go down there and fix it. And it's up to, our faith for us to trust in the guys that's basically patrolling, basically watching out 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, just to make sure that we don't get shot.
Right.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times for some folks, it's hard to trust people. It's hard to trust anybody, basically, at that matter. So in certain areas, in every situation possible, when you're in the military, you have to trust someone. That ties in so much as far as faith, because you have to trust in God to allow you to do what you do. So it's just like when you're at that place, man, I'm telling you, like, you have to trust in God. And that's the thing that kept me going, is to, allow Him to do what He do best, which is to keep me sane and to keep me calm, keep me whole while I'm going on tour, going anywhere, and just allow myself to, do my job and just to trust my guys right beside me.
You definitely hit on a big thing in the Army or military in general. Trust. Trust is
boy.
Trust me, I know. I'm an MP, so you definitely gotta put your trust into your guys, and then I'm supplied, so they put a lot of trust in me to make sure they got what they need, and they say you gotta be friends with the supply people so you can get what you want, but yeah. So I'm kind of that go-to guy. So, but yeah, trust is definitely one thing you need in the military, because if you don't trust anybody, it's like, why are you doing it? Like, there's no reason for you to even be in the military at all if you feel like you can't trust anybody. But there do be times where you can't trust anybody, but you just gotta build that. You just gotta build it. So definitely.
Yeah, that's true. You know, I mean, we have to, as we mature, you know, you learn to trust, right? Trust is earned, trust is given, but at the same time, you have to, like everything else we do in life, you have to grow in that to know how. And so in the military, it's important. And the situations we find ourselves in, the training, the long nights, you know, leaving your family and you're going to the desert, you know, things of that nature, or you're going to do cold weather training, you know, different things like that. They put you in situations so that you can build a bond, build a relationship, you can fellowship, you know, and you're close with your leadership so that when you do go forward, when you have to go downrange to fix that tank, or, you know, when you're, you know, somewhere in you know, a country that you've never been in, and you have to, you know, take that huge warehouse with all those parts and you're getting that intel, you have to learn to trust a person to the left and the right of you, because they may be all you have.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So now we're going to bring up Kit. I'm probably going to butcher your name. You look at it first, bro. Keslee.
Hey. Yes, Keslee Hylton.
How are you doing? It's an honor. Thank you for being here with us. I think I got it right. I'll let him kind of mess it up first so that I can come in and save it. Right? But it is so great to have you here with us, you know, to take time out of your day to come and to, you know, talk, you know, and share your heart and your story. So, you know, it's brave of you, right? And, you know, to be, you know, 5 people in the room, and you are the lone, you know, woman, you know, in here. But I feel like, you know, you can hold your own weight. So that's awesome. So, yeah, it's good to see you.
Yeah, I grew up with two brothers, so I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us how your journey, or you're going to you're in ROTC, right?
Yes.
So I guess, yeah, let us know how faith is going to keep you through, or I don't know how that process is. I've heard it's tough. It's tougher than basic training itself, so I won't really know. So I guess just let us know how that experience is.
Yeah, my name is Keslee Hylton. I'm a sophomore at William Peace University in Raleigh, North Carolina. I'm also a part of the volleyball team there. As for RTC, I don't know if it's harder than basic training. I feel like it might be a little easier, but because we don't have drill sergeants in our face. Definitely. But but yeah, it's been great. Both my grandfathers enlisted, and both my brothers went to BMI, and they commissioned in the Army too. So that's how I kind of got interested in it. And I just feel like it's an honor to serve the Lord and spread His word. It's also an honor to be able to serve my country as well.
All right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, that's awesome. Yeah. So, what can spiritual leaders do to help you pursue your goals during your career?
One thing is just being there for me. Like my former music pastor at my church, anytime that I was going through something stressful, or like I was anxious about something, I could just text him and he would immediately respond and give me advice. And it wasn't just like, because, you know, our hearts it's very deceitful. It's one of the most evil things. So he's good at giving biblical advice. So pointing me in the right direction, asking me questions that really makes me stop and think, like, is this really, like, is this how I'm feeling, or is God trying to tell me something? yeah, just being there when I reach out and being like a leader and a mentor. So if I am going down a wrong path or you see me straying away, just put me back on track, keep me straight. That's really helpful.
Absolutely. It's a jewel. It's awesome to have those people around you that can do that. That have built that relationship, that and that respect, that they can speak into your life and see you and help you accomplish the things that they kind of see in your future. So that's great. Awesome.
Also another thing, that trust. You gotta make sure you got that trust. That trust is there. So yeah. Oh, Jerel, I wanted to ask you the same question. What can a spiritual leader do to help you, help you pursue the rest of your career?
So I know for a fact that there are leaders in my unit for a fact that will give me good advice. But as you say, a spiritual leader will give me that sound advice. That advice, but also, in the aspect of Christianity, of myself, like how would I go about it? Because I'm not like every other person. Everybody don't believe what I believe in, and like they have their own different type of beliefs, which is cool and that's fine. It just so happens to be conscious of, like you said, trusting somebody to make sure to give you that correct advice. So when you do move up and you do move up in the ranks, that you also pass it down, because it's so important that once you get that information, that you just don't run away with it and try to like use it to like benefit you or benefit, somebody else, to like, make it corrupt, because we've seen when the unit gets corrupt and things start going haywire, right? So it's so important that leadership, especially spiritually, is there, because it will definitely change and impact the unit more positively than just a regular person who's there just doing their job.
Got it. Yeah. That's tough, because you got that one bad apple in the unit.
Man.
Yeah, it goes left, right, it goes all over the place. Yeah. So, and what's crazy is that sometimes it might come from your own like higher up, first sergeant, commander, and they're supposed to be your go-to. You're supposed to like actually look up to them and make sure, or rely on them to, make sure everything is right. But sometimes you get those bad apples in the bunch. So definitely.
Man, it is something that you said that was awesome that I picked up on. So you spoke about leaders giving you good advice versus spiritual leaders giving you sound advice. And as soon as you said it, man, something just leaped in me, right? Because what's good for you may not be good for me, right? We can all agree with that what your good may be an 85, but my good may be a 95 on a test, right? And so, but to say that the sound leadership comes from the spiritual, those who share the same faith, because that sound leadership is solid. There's a foundation that's built on the word of God, that even when you want to give up, even when you want to slow down, even when you might want to slack off, or you may want to turn your eye and do the wrong thing, that advice, it encourages you, but it also reminds you that, hey, you know what, we are examples of witnesses for Christ. So that was amazing. I like that. Good advice versus sound advice. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely tell when a commander or a first sergeant has. It's kind of hard to explain. It's like they're real. They're not giving you what
you want to hear.
Yeah, they're giving you the real, like what's actually going to help and what's not just going to be good enough. So yeah, it's definitely kind of hard to get those people. So definitely. So yeah, Kalib. So yeah, we want to know what can your spiritual leaders do to help you in situations to pursue your career?
I feel like my spiritual leaders I feel like being patient and letting people actually discover their real faith. Because I feel like people forcing it, when you force it on somebody, they can say they have faith, but how do you really know if it's not from your own heart? You don't really know. So that's something I feel like.
Okay.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, being patient and allow them to grow and mature, right? I mean, we're all doing that. Like we are all maturing in our faith. So, I think that as especially in the spirit, in the kingdom, that we have to be patient with those who are learning themselves, who are young adults, and they're maturing, and they're going to be mistakes. There are going to be times where they have tough questions, and or maybe you answer their question 5 times and they're just not getting it. But that patience allows them to grow, and it also allows them to come back to you, right? If you show that patience and you work with them until they get it. Then the next time on that tough decision, on that decision that's really weighty, that decision where, again, you talked about going down range and fixing that tank. In that moment, there's a trust, a relationship that's built, a bond, because you were patient, right? And then they give you that sound advice. So now you can trust that this is, the right thing to do, and at the end of the day, you spoke about them just being there, just being there to help guide you, and all those things tying together that make great spiritual leaders, pushing you in your career, and also things that you now take that and put that in your bag. And as you all are the NCOs and the future captain and major, take all those tools and put them in your bag and use those.
Mm-hmm. And just with trust and patience, you also build that faith all the time that you don't have to worry about or second guess that person. So you also have faith in God and that person, that you're always gonna be able to count on them and him. So make sure you have trust, patience, and faith.
So yeah, I have a question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So your career goals. We spoke about your leaders. We spoke about the faith. We spoke about the trust. I want to speak about like what your career goals. Like thinking like what are your career goals, and how can you be an example or witness for Christ to the young adults and other service members as you pursue those.
So really, me wanting to pursue the military. So me wanting to pursue the National Guard. I want to just finish school. So I have 3 years left. Well, I'm not going to say left because I don't know if I'm going to re-enlist or not. So really, my main goal is to be a physical therapist. So I'm trying to take advantage of the National Guard because they do help with tuition assistance and pay for your schooling and everything. So I'm trying to rely on that to get the rest of my school out the way, and hopefully come out. If I don't do that, find something that's along the lines of my job, which is supply 92 Yankee. So just try to find a career in that. That's pretty much what my end goal out of all this is. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. And having options, right? Like, going into it, that's part of it, is to make sure that, it's not pigeonholing yourself. And I think sometimes we can do that, especially as young adults. We set our mind on one thing and we put everything towards that. And, but there has to be something, like if you can't go right, maybe you can go left. Or if you miss your turn, is there another turn down the road to help you get to where you want to be, right? And maybe there was a detour, but as long as you get to the end state, which is, what I'm hearing is that you want to be successful. You want to, it's important to finish school, and it's also important, for you to absolutely finish your career. So, but how do those things, be an example and witness for Christ? Like how in pursuing your goals, how can you leverage those goals and your faith to, make sure that you are that witness and that example?
Really, I have two siblings, so I want to make sure I'm a great role model for them, and I want to make sure that they put as much faith, as much trust in God as I do. It may be hard. I might be hard at showing it sometimes, but it's really just it's a mental thing with me. So I do it for them because I really want to be the best like older brother that I can. So I want to make sure I do everything right, but I know I'm gonna mess up sometimes. But yeah, really, it's just for them too. I want to make sure that they see me doing the right thing, walking the right footsteps, so they can just follow him, not necessarily join with me or do what I do, but mainly make sure they keep God first and understand that without him, you won't really like get far. So really, that's the main goal for all this. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's that big brother tough love. That's what I hear. That's good. But that's great though. The relationship that you have as the big brother, they look up to you. I know it. You are an awesome young man. Great character. So yeah, that's awesome. So Keslee, same question, right? I'd like to hear your career goals. What are they? I know you're in ROTC and you're currently in college and you play volleyball and you wear a lot of hats, right? That's amazing. You juggle a lot. So what are your career goals? And then let's talk about how you can be an example and a witness to Christ for others as you pursue it.
So after I graduate college, I plan to commission in the Army, and I'll probably stay in 6 to 8 years. And then after that, I want to branch in intelligence. Because after that, I want to go in the FBI, and I want to be like a profiler. So I feel like the military, being in the Army, it will kind of make me stand out when I apply to do the FBI. Yeah, I feel like they're both would be very hard jobs mentally and physically. But knowing that I'm in God's hands and that all things work out in his good. If I just keep my faith and keep following him, keep praying, and honor and worship him in all my actions and what I do, what I say throughout my days, then things will work out like they should. But yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, a very intelligent view on your career and your goals, and I knew when you came in, I felt the toughness. So, man, you're trying to go be an FBI, and that is awesome. I look forward to seeing how all that happens because I know it's going to happen. And you're right. All things work together for the good of those who love Jesus, who are called according to his purpose. And I truly believe that we are. If you look at people in the Word, David, he was a warrior. From a young child. Even up till when he was king. So God does place, within those who follow him and have a great future to be warriors. And so, whether it is the military or whether it is, FBI, God can and will absolutely ordain us, you to do those things and to be great at them. Right. So that's amazing. That is amazing. So, I want to skip to this one because I want to talk about this, right? So in 2002, so that's the year I joined, and shortly after going through boot camp, I was on a fast track, got through school, and I found myself in January of 2003 on a ship heading towards Iraq, right? So we're talking the beginning OIF 1 when it kicks off, and there was a leader. We had a leader. His name was Colonel Ronald Bailey. And he eventually became a lieutenant general. And then, I followed his career because, it was great. He came down and you talk about a great leader, right? But he would come down and he would watch us play basketball down there. We would do things. We had talent shows and he would always be down there with us. One day they were playing some music up there and he got out there dancing and singing. And that was just amazing, right? Like that he was one of us. But when he retired, he said something in his retirement speech, and he spoke about his journey, and he began to talk about ships, right? And so what he said was that everyone, especially in the military, we all travel through life on ships. If you want to get from one place to another, in the Marine Corps, we use ships. We have aircraft, but that's the way we get there. But the ships he spoke about were different. He spoke about leadership. He spoke about mentorship. He spoke about relationship and fellowship, right? And so in that same view, in that same thought process, I want to ask this to Jerel, what are your thoughts on leadership and mentorship, and how do those ships shape your future?
So leadership and mentorship. I just got out of BLC, so it was just all about leadership, right? But there's different types. But I just want to get on the concept of basically what leadership really means. So like, in order to lead, you must learn how to follow. And in order to follow, you have to follow in the correct way. So if you're going to follow somebody, you have to be sure that that's somebody that for a fact that they're going to give you the right answers. And if you're going to take that answers, you better be sure to apply it. Not a lot of people are doing that even to this day. So with leadership, it's all about assured that you got the correct amount of information and pass it down in the correct manner. It's a really tough way to do it because there's different types of people and how you approach them. So that's where the mentorship comes in. That's where you pull them to the side and you can like actually come like a conversation like we're doing right now, but like you're actually feeding something that he could be beneficiary to somebody that's also watching him as well. Because when we're down there, like whether if you're in the Army or the Marines or wherever you're doing, there's always somebody watching at any given time. So you have to be sure if you are going to be able to teach, just make sure that you're also being conscious to know that if you don't have the correct information, or if you're not really willing to teach somebody, it's not going to work in your favor. So leadership and mentorship, how that coexists, it's all about basically learn how to follow and learn how to basically take that information and be willing to learn, be willing to, take criticism, constructive criticism as well, and use that to better yourself. And potentially, just potentially, you can reach somebody that could really use it.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's a great answer, right? That constructive criticism that as we move through life and as we're adults, obviously I have children and but I have parents and even though I'm a parent myself, there's still things that I need help on, right? I'm not always getting everything right, but the constructive criticism, to be able to sit down and listen to that and hear it for what it is and understand that the person, if there's relationship, right, that's there, that you can use that ship to travel to the right thing, right? So that's an awesome view. So for Kalib, the same thing, the same question. I like to hear what you have to say about that. Like, what are your thoughts on leadership and mentorship, and how do those ships that we're speaking about, how they help shape your future, or how can they help shape your future?
So I kind of want to piggyback off what Jerel said. Something I thought about was, I forgot where I heard it or who said it, but they were talking about followership, another ship, like he said. In order to be the great leader, you have to usually model after somebody or something that you've seen. So in order to become the leader that you really want, are you really willing to follow somebody that you feel is emulating the same traits that you value, that you want to put into towards your leadership whenever you are a leader? And then are you able to relate with people on like a personal level, as far as mentorship? Are you able to relate with people on just like, even if you like people like in my shop, some of my Marines that I'm in charge of, that I consider myself a mentor for, we're completely opposites. But am I able to listen to what they talk about or what they say and think about it, process it, and then give them an answer on a few different options on ways they should go about doing different things.
Nah, that's great. So, I mean, you spoke followership, man. That's awesome. When you said that, what I thought about was, you know, like you said, that the path, like being able to model after someone, right? Like, you know, a role model, right? And that's what, you know, each of you are all of us. Like we're someone's role model, right? We, you know, but we're not just playing a role. That we are fortunate to have our foundation on the Word of God, right? And so our role model is Christ. And as we model Christ every day in our actions, every day in the way we speak and the way we deal with each other, the way that we're teachable, the way that we are approachable, the way that we help to teach others and guide them, all of those things, you know, are paths and models that, one, we see someone else emulating and we do it ourselves, you know. So, you know, we continue to grow in our roles and in our faith as believers, right? As leaders, as servicemen, as, you know, parents, fathers, husbands, wives, you know, all those things. We have so many roles, so many hats, you know, that we all wear, but we also have we have an obligation to find those that are around us that are doing it right, that are walking this thing out right, that are walking out the faith right. The leaders in your services, or, you know, on your jobs, or, you know, in your school, you know, your captain, or, you know, the coach, you know, all those people are doing it right, and they're doing it right with Christ as the head of their life. So, you know, we have to make sure that we do those things, and then we pay it forward, because one day you're going to be the role model for someone else. So always remember that, you know, and be cognizant of the model and that in the path that we are setting. So we just spoke about ships, right? We spoke about ships taking us from place to place, you know, followership, mentorship, leadership, all those things in life that are absolutely necessary to help us, you know, mature in Christ and mature as adults. But, you know, once you get off that ship, you know, you come to a place where you have to get access, right? And the access, I believe you come to a door. You know, if you go to any building, you know, or you go to a structure, you go to a supply, to warehouse, or, you know, if you want to go out to the, you know, even to the tank, right? Maybe it's not a door, it's the hole, but there's still something that acts like a door, and that door gives you access to what's on the other side. And so because they give us access to the next things in our life. So let's talk about this. Let's switch that. If you are a door for others, we're a door, right? Somebody trying to be like you, somebody's gonna come up and want to be you, right? You talked about your siblings, right? They're watching you. They want to do what you do. They want to be successful. What advice would you give to high school students or to other young adults concerning reaching your career goals?
I would tell them, don't wait too late. Don't wait until you graduate high school. You maybe sit around for a year after high school, 2 years, because once you know it, you'll be about 4 or 5 years out of high school, and then you'll just be like, so like, what am I doing? You definitely need like some type of foundation of what you're going to do, like once you graduate high school. Because once you graduate, you're not on. I mean, you're on your own, but you're not on your own. Like nothing will ever be given to you. So you have to always keep that in mind, that you have to work for everything that you pretty much need. After that, once you walk across that stage, you need to work towards something. And so yeah, if you have people that you want to look up to you, you definitely have to make sure you're going the right direction. Don't just stay at home, sit on the game. I mean, I might sit on the game every now and then, but that's only like at night when I'm about to go to bed. So, but other than that, you like just make sure you're not being a bum, like Kalib said. Just don't be a bum. So,
yeah, that's it. That's good. That's good. Yeah, we don't want to be bums, right? That's awesome, right? You said that because the Bible lets us know to be anxious for nothing, but in all things through prayer and supplication, make your requests known, right? Mm-hmm. So what I get from that is that hey, you don't have to rush anything, but you have to have a plan. You have to talk to God about what you want. You have to make sure that whatever that next step is life, that you've thought about it, right? And that you again, we have leaders, we have parents, we have siblings, we have mentors, we have coaches, we have all these worship leaders, those people in the church, all these people around us that can help us formulate our plan. And so you don't get to the age of 16 and feel like that it's already past you, because it's not, but you still don't sit down and do nothing and wait for it to come to you. But that's a great answer. So Keslee, what about you? Like, if you are that door, right now, Keslee's the door, and you're a sophomore, and there's a freshman, right, who's looking up to you, or there's a high school junior who knows you. What, advice would you give them concerning, them reaching their career goals and,
One thing, as like from a woman's perspective, I always look at Proverbs 31. But like y'all said, don't be lazy. You always want to look ahead to make sure you don't be a bum. Be hard, work hard, and go after your goals, follow your dreams. Do what makes you happy, but as long as it's not sinful, I was talking, like I said previously, about my former music pastor. When I talked to him when I need advice, I was talking to him the other day, and he said it feels like if no matter what you do, as long as it's giving honor to and glory to God, He will bless you. So I know personally sometimes I get so caught up in, is this God's will? This is what I'm supposed to do with my life. But as long as you're aligned with God and what He wants, follow what the Bible says in the Word, then I feel like He will bless you, and as long as it's not sinful. And if you're going down a path that God doesn't want you to go down, He'll close that door and He'll redirect you and open another one that leads to something better in the end.
Man, yeah, that is awesome. Proverbs 31, Keslee, you own it. Like I like you. I like you a lot, and I feel like we got that code word going. Like we found our word for this session, the bum, like that bum bump. I like that. You started, but we're gonna keep running with that, right? But so in those same things, right? We're awesome answers, awesome responses. I absolutely love the passion and your intelligent views on all those things. So let's talk about loyalty, right? Loyalty to Christ and your service. So for Jerel, the question is, how does your loyalty to Christ and service coexist? Like, how do those things coexist? Because, there could be moral conflicts sometimes, but how do you remain loyal to Christ and to your service?
So, to be loyal to both, we have a thing called Army values, and for sure, the biggest thing for me when it comes down to any one of them is selfless service, right? We signed up and we serve to serve our people, right? But we also have to work side by side with somebody, and we have to constantly ask ourselves, do I even want to be with this person sometimes? But you just do it because it's your code. It's who you are. It's not even something you have to ask. You just do it. And that's the thing that coexists between God and your service. we just continue to serve God because he's been with us the entire time. He's never left. The moment you accepted him in your life, he never left and he never will. So it just comes easy. It comes natural when you start becoming somebody who has to be somebody to go down range and help somebody, or help somebody with paperwork, or help them with, with the fact that they just can't figure out exactly what to do with that particular type of job that you're in. You're stepping in there because you're willing to help. You're willing to sacrifice your time and your effort to make that happen, because it just coexists to a place where it just exuberates out of you. So that's basically how it works.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you say you have those values. We call them core values, right? In the Marine Corps, they call core values, and our core values are honor, courage, and commitment. And in all things, be honorable. Be honorable as a man, as a husband, as a service member. Courage, to do the right thing, right? It's not always easy. When like you said, that loyalty to that person next to you, and your friend or someone that you absolutely have a great relationship with, they might do something that is wrong, but you have to have courage to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to act the right ways, and then be committed to the thing that you said you were going to do, right? So those core values. So for Kalib, right? So I want to talk about this in speaking about loyalty, but does your faith make it easier or harder for you to serve in the military?
I feel like my faith makes it easier to serve in the military, just based off what you said with the Marine Corps, honor, courage, commitment. I know what people have been seeing, everything that's going on in Afghanistan, seeing pictures of different Marines helping out the people evacuate. Pretty much our mission, God's mission for us, is to serve him. So it makes it way easier with me serving him, it makes it way easier to go out in the world and serve other people. I feel like it just me trusting in him and being loyal to him helps me accomplish everything that I want to do with the Marine Corps, which is serve our country.
Man, that's awesome. Absolutely. So Maalik, so with those things, talking about loyalty and faith and commitment and honor and courage and the core values, what are your thoughts on, is it possible to serve God and the military equally, even though both are demanding, right? So with you being in the National Guard, and you and Jerel, when you've been in the National Guard, like you have your service to the country, you have your job, you have your significant other, your spouse, you have your church. But is it possible, and what are your thoughts on how difficult it is to serve God and the military equally, and then keeping those priorities or whatever the priority in your life is? How you juggle that?
It's definitely a task, because in your head you're thinking, is this God telling me to do this, or is this just my commander or whoever is in charge of me telling me to do this? So you're kind of torn between the two, but I think it's possible. It's very possible to serve God and as well as your service in your country. And it's a part of like growing up, because you have to pretty much shape and mold yourself into figuring out what's going to help you mature as a person walking by God's faith, and as well as you growing up into your job with the military. So, and you just really you just have to keep going, just keep pushing with whatever you do, and you have to always trust that God is going to make sure that your loyalty is not, or your loyalty or your trust is not broken between serving your country and being loyal to God at the same time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So what about you, Keslee, right? So we're absolutely going to avoid being the bum. You're a virtuous woman, Proverbs 31. You're volleyball. You're obviously, if your worship leader is somebody that's in your life, and you really revered him. I'm assuming that you also a worshiper, and you're in college and you're ROTC, and how do you juggle those things, and how do you maintain the priority of God and service and school?
So my key thing is, if it's important to you, you'll make time for it. So when I was younger, I remember going to Sunday school, and my Sunday school teacher would ask like how much time we spend with God and everything, and I would always say the excuse, "Oh, I don't have time. I got school. I got sports and everything." And when he told me that, and ever since then it kind of hit me. Like if God is really important to me, I'll make time for him. So whether that means waking up a little bit earlier before PT to open my Bible and get in his word, or if it means going to bed a little bit later. But yeah, and with serving God and military equally, it's really Matthew 23:11 says the greatest among you will be a servant, and God came to this earth. He didn't come to this earth to be Jesus didn't come to this earth to be comfortable. He came and he suffered for us, and he died for our sins. So one thing that I look to is making sure I am uncomfortable from time to time. I don't want to be comfortable in serving in the military. You're not going to be comfortable all the time. That's for sure. Especially in field training. And I've never been deployed or anything because I'm still in college. But in field training, it's not a comfortable job. So just pushing myself to go outside the comfort zone in both service and with God, it would make me grow as a Christian and as a soldier.
Absolutely, right. So Ecclesiastes lets us know that there's a right time for everything. There's some versions say there's an opportune time, but for everything that we do, there's a right time. And what that means is that everything has a set time. But then it also goes, the Bible also lets us know that to seek first the kingdom of God, and everything's going to be added, right? So everything else is all the other things that come forward, right? So if you're seeking God first, you're making time for him, then everything else is going to find its right place. It's going to work out. You can't get too bogged down in how things work, because as in the military, we all know this, that there are times where you'll be sitting around. And it's like, what are we doing? What are the directs? What are the instructions? We call it a hurry up and wait. Like, why am I waiting? I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning when I've been sitting here for an hour. Nobody's telling me what to do, right? But, in the right time, you're going to get the instructions. You're going to get exactly what you need to accomplish the mission. And you're going to get exactly what you need for your career, and the right leaders, the right mentors, they're all going to show up. God has everything set for each of us at the right time. And so, the worst thing that can happen to us as believers is to be in the wrong situation at the wrong time. Does that make sense? Like you're there, and because I'm not mature enough to handle this person that is supposed to help me grow as a man, as a service member, or this lady or whoever, this staff NCO, but it is that can be detrimental, because that can set you back, right? And so we have to know and trust and believe that God has everything set up for us at the right time. And what might seem like a dip or a curveball or a bump in the road, it could be something that's slowing you down to allow that other person to get in the right place, so that when you maneuver around it, when God takes you around that, over that, under that, or he just moves it all together, that person is there. And as you move forward, they're waiting, and they pick up exactly where, you are in your life, so that as they walk forward and you guys follow Christ and move forward in your career, that you're getting what you need, and you can be that role model, right? That shows loyalty, that shows faith, that you're that door, that access, and you are the ship that allows somebody else behind you to ride that wave into the next thing in life. So with Jerel, with all those things in mind, has your faith ever helped another service member battle an issue in their life?
Yeah, so there be plenty of times that, with your time of duty, your time of service, right? You're doing your job, you're doing what you're supposed to, right? There's going to be somebody there that's going to have that moment where they don't feel right. They don't feel, themselves. And it comes down to a point where you as a person has to step up and be that leader, be that person to call upon, to call things out and see it coming. Because a lot of times, like, you'll see it, but then you'll be like, nah, this ain't really it. This ain't really nothing to be worried about. But it really is. So it comes by just being aware, just being available, and just being always somebody who's willing to listen, be willing to step out of their way. Like I said, with the selfless service, just being there for that person, right? Because when we put that uniform on, let me tell you something. Like, it is a lot to deal with. Like, with family, with I'm telling you, man. Like, it ties everything together. So it can get stressful. It can get mad stressful. Like, even with training, Caleb, like with training, man, let me tell you, you don't want to be there. You don't. Like, you want to be doing something else. You got to be on the beach, sipping on, Kool-Aid or something. But it's something that you have to do and just get through. And somebody could be in the same boat as you, and you can take that, apply it, and use it to help somebody else. Because the biggest thing, I hate to use this, I'm sorry, I dislike to use this, but it's a really big concern with the military, is suicide prevention. We have to make sure that we keep our soldiers safe. It's so important, because a lot of times there's a lot of things going in their mind that they're not ready to express. And that's okay. But you being available and being aware helps that person.
Absolutely. And for the record, I'm gonna throw it out there. My favorite Kool-Aid is Fruit Punch. So, since we're talking about sipping on Kool-Aid, I absolutely enjoy. Yeah, also Tropical Punch. Yeah, Fruit Punch. It's all the same. As long as it's red, I'm there. Right. So Caleb, you need grape. Come on, man. I guess we can go with it, right? We can go with it. It's all right. I drink it, right? Got to get that right amount of sugar, though. It can't be too much, too little. I can't mess with you.
You got to be able to shake the touch a little bit.
Until it's sweet.
Oh man. So, Caleb. So, this is the same question to you. Like, how has your faith ever helped another service member battle situation that they face in their lives?
Yes, it has. So, something I tell all my Marines that are under me, I tell them, if they ever need something, if it's work related, not work related, something personal going on, I always tell them they can call me, they can text me, get a hold of me, and my rank comes off, and it's just person to person. Because I know everybody's going through things. Even though, like, we put a mask on when we come to work, and you hide everything, hide your feelings. But I always tell people, if they really need something, they can always come to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that. Yeah, you just being there for them, And so we're going to wrap this up with this one, and I want to take this the same question, right? But we'll wrap it up. I like to have Keslee come in, and just so because your dynamic is a little bit different than us, some of the others, because you're one, right? You're a woman, right? So different perspective to speak from that aspect, but also full-time student, full-time as much as you can be with ROTC, and you have sports. So how has your faith helped other classmates and those in ROTC in their life, you know?
A big thing for me is just leading by example. So I know my first year, last year in college, I had a roommate. She was a Christian, and she believed in God, and she went to church and everything. But just I would read my Bible every morning after PT before my classes, and she saw that, and she eventually started reading her Bible too. And just people in my classes, I would get close with them as friends, and I would invite them to Peace Ministry. It's like a Bible study at William Peace. And actually, one of the girls, she was on this Real Talk Saturday. So I think it was last year or something. Sierra Baker, she's president, and just inviting them to that, or inviting them to church. One of my volleyball teammates lives close to William Peace, and we always go to her church on Sundays. So just leading by example and showing them, like, college is stressful, and being in RTC is stressful, and even when I could be at my lowest point, it is good to show it sometimes, so people know, like, you're human and everybody has lows, but also showing them that with God you can get through everything, and how different it is to live with Christ in your life than it is when you don't have him. That's a big thing. And one of my friends in RTC, he's actually our cadet commander. So he's like ahead of all of us. He's helped me a lot as a Christian too, growing in my faith. And like Caleb said, he's one of those where I know if I need something, if I need to talk about something, I can call him or text him, and his rank goes away, and we talk as friends, and he gives me biblical advice and friendly advice. And he also leads by example too. So I see him and what he does, what he says, and I can implement that into my life and show my friends and the other people in my squad and my battalion and stuff like that.
That's awesome, man. You young adults, man. I'm proud. I'm ecstatic. I feel like the next generation of leaders in the military, you know, are they're going to be in great hands, right? With you, you know, you are the next generation. You are, you know, the new up and coming talent. And you know what you were saying about being an example. You know, just being salt of the earth. You know, that's what we're called to do, right? We're called to go in, and we're called to, you know, be infectious in a positive way. You know, by example of how we speak, how we talk, how we act, how we deal with each other, how we accept criticism, how we show loyalty, how we show courage, our commitment, you know, how we bring those along, you know, how we follow, all of those things that we spoke about today. You know, I'm listening to some great minds, some great thinkers. You know, it is a pleasure to serve with you, right? And to share this platform with you. And I look forward to following your careers, right? And also just to see how you affect the kingdom of God, right? You know, because, you know, it's not simply what you do in the service, but you're also charged with those same things, you know, in society, in your communities, in your church. And so wherever you go, you know, I know you're going to do great things. Keep God first, and always remember that if you seek ye first the kingdom of God, he's going to add everything else that you need. So don't worry about, you know, PT at 4 a.m. You're going to get through it. It's not going to kill you. It's going to be hot, and it's going to be cold. It's going to be rough, but you'll get through it because there's greatness in each and every one of you. And I can't wait to see all that manifest.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So for those that are continuously serving, thank you. For the ones that are not, also be mindful of, also, if you're not continuing to serve, be sure to be mindful of how you get out. It's not about when you get out. It's about how you get out. Because a lot of people just get out and don't have a plan afterwards. Because God always gives us a plan. No matter if we see it or not, he gives us a plan at all times. So it's got to be mindful, though. If you're going to get out at a certain point, just be sure that you have a plan to follow up. So that way, when people do want to get out and follow in your footsteps as well, then they know how to do it the right way.
All right. Well, have a good evening. Remember, don't be bums, and get some Kool-Aid, and it's all gonna be all right. All right.
Leadership.
Great Kool-Aid.
Man,
great Kool-Aid.
Trash.
Great Kool-Aid.
So, Real Talk Saturdays, right? Real Talk Saturdays, my man Maalik, man, you this is an awesome platform, an awesome thing that we do. So I appreciate you coming in and just leading, right? Like there's so many ways to lead, and you're showing leading your siblings, leading on your job, leading in the military, helping to lead this segment. So leadership is all in you, man, and I love it. I applaud it. I appreciate it. Don't stop doing what you're doing. It's making a positive impact. People are watching this, and those who haven't watched now, they'll come back later at some other time and they'll see it. And with them seeing it, they're going to see greatness in you, and that's going to be the opportunities for different things in the future. So, man, I love you. I'm proud of you. You're my little, brother, cousin. You know what I'm saying? I was speaking the other day. I saw your brother was 21, and I didn't realize right then, like I was talking to your mom, I said, man, Maalik is like a grown man for real. Like he's really,
yeah.
I remember the braids in the big pacifier. And I saw in Raleigh, and now I'm sitting back and I'm like, this is the actual grown man. So man, I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, your parents are proud of you. I thought your dad was gonna take the whole segment just talking about how proud he was of you, but you know what? It's his. And I was gonna let him do it. I was gonna let him do it because you have the Hebrews, right? Chapter 12 talks about in heaven we have a cloud of witnesses, and what it's describing is how they're cheering you on. And so we want to make sure that that you have that same crowd cheering you on right here, right now. Keep doing what you're doing. Love you, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Love you too, man. Love it. Love to see it. It's a great opportunity to be here. I'm just excited for whatever I could do next. I'm excited for those that, watch me, follow me, my generation under me or coming up under me. I just want them to see me do it right because I'm the oldest cousin out of everybody. Oldest cousin, brother, everything. So, yeah, it's definitely hard to, be in the right place sometimes, in the right place in the right time. But so yeah, definitely I want to just make sure I'm doing it right for them. So yeah.
Amen.
All right. Well, thank you, son. I appreciate that response. You make your parents proud.
For sure.
And your older cousins, uncle, cousin, brother, making them proud. Well, we thank everybody for tuning in to another Real Talk Saturday, a place where we allow an opportunity for the younger generation to express themselves in their faith. And, there's so many different things that they could be doing right now, but they are expressing their faith. They may be doing it in a different way, but they are expressing their faith. And we thank God for giving us the vision to be able to provide this platform for such a time as this, especially with COVID-19 going on, the pandemic, and a whole lot of other things that are going on. God has given us vision and insight on how to create and establish a community for people to be able to express their faith. Just because the doors of the church may be closed for some ministries, that doesn't mean that the doors to your heart can't remain open to God's technology. God is awesome. He is the ultimate creator. He is the creator of everything. So we look to him as our source. Pastor Paul, do you have any comments?
Yes, I appreciate the both of you for facilitating this event. Maalik, I know this is your freshman year with doing this, and you did an awesome job. I had some proud mommy moments in there. And so we thank God for you participating and you just answering the call, both from God and from your parents to do this. And Elder Crooms, again, we loved how you flowed the conversation. You really brought out the best out of those young people, and they were able to provide some insight that we just were not expecting. Each time we talk to our young people, we are more and more excited. I know you saw a little baby Anna come out of Keslee. She started talking that word. I was like, I know LeAndro's tapping into talking to that baby Anna. And so, yes. She made me a proud female over here because she was representing. She represented with those fellas and was able to hold her ground and made her voice known in that platform. And so I was thankful to hear her and, to hear Kalib. I couldn't believe Kalib was talking his grown man. I was like, Kalib is a whole grown man. What is he doing over there? So I was just proud to hear them and hear the insight. Jerel ministering the way that he did. Yes. I know he's going to do awesome things, not only in the military, but just for God in general.
Yes, he is.
So, Bishop, Pastor Eric, y'all need to watch out because, we want Jerel, we want Jerel on team RC3.
It really is. I'm proud of him.
So, it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
All right. Well, this is another Real Talk Saturday. We thank you for tuning in. We have another one upcoming. And so stay tuned. Over and out. I'm Pastor Emmanuel.
And I'm Pastor Carla.
And we're down on Real Talk Saturday.